Welcome to another Encounters episode. Today we take a look at more Bigfoot sightings that took place in Alberta, Canada. More sightings from Alberta, Canada. 3 prospectors were taking their lunch break near Ribbon Creek Road, east of Banff. Something alerted them and they realized that they were being watched by a gorilla sitting back on its haunches. They watched it watching them for around 5 minutes before it stood up. One of the men said it sort of chattered its teeth like it was cold and also moved its arms in an up and down movement. It then walked away. The 3 men agreed the creature was at least 7 foot tall. It had longish arms, droopy large breasts, and was covered with long brownish hair. 2 of the men returned the following day and found 15-inch tracks in the road. In July 1971, a Wisconsin visitor and a friend had a sighting just a few miles east of the Banff sighting at the edge of the mountains. They claimed to have seen a moose-sized, upright animal in a stream bed. They saw it from about a half-mile away. The summer of 1972 brought a report of a sighting by 3 people. They saw the head and shoulders of a hair-covered man who stood 8 to 10 feet tall. It was in a berry patch in the valley not far from the town. From fall 1972 through December 1973, more sightings were reported of large, upright creatures near Seven Persons, Alberta. Both 15 and 7-inch tracks were found on the ice of Seven Persons Creek. Stride was measured at around 6 feet for both sets. At dusk one day, a man watched an animal for several minutes moving through the tree line. It appeared to be carrying something in its arms. The man said the outline was like that of a heavy woman carrying a child. The figure appeared to have dark, reddish-brown fur. The creature disappeared into the underbrush. These sightings were all near Seven Persons Creek, close to the Cypress Hills, where the creek has its headwaters. On May 11, 1974, a sighting took place on the David Thompson Highway close to the lake behind the Bighorn Dam. Ron Gummel, a 42-year-old Calgary man, said he rounded a bend in the road and found 2 creatures standing in the middle of the road. He estimated them to be 12 feet tall. They were so big they could have picked up my car and thrown it in the lake. He stopped his car about 30 feet away from them. They stared at him for about 10 seconds, then loped off the road. They were reported to be ape-like and covered in dark brown hair. Bob Sexsmith, a trapper with 45 years of experience, reported his sighting back in October 1975. He claimed to have spotted a creature about 7 or 8 feet tall, covered with inch-long hair at the edge of the trees beside the road. He soon realized that this first creature was accompanied by 2 smaller ones about 3 to 4 feet high. They were behind the taller one and therefore he could not see them as well. When he pulled his truck over, the 3 disappeared into the trees. Art German, a game guide, went to the area when he heard the report. He said he discovered marks showing 3 toes dug into the bank by the road, 5 to 6 inches wide, and with a 4-foot stride. He also found 3 small piles of fibrous droppings, one of which he sent to John Green, who in turn forwarded the sample to Dr. Vaughn Bryant at Texas A&M. The only information returned to Green was that the sample contained grass. The area of this sighting was an unsettled forest of poplar, willow, and pine. There was a river and swamp land nearby. This was a completely wild country with no livestock. A hunter reported seeing an 8 to 9 foot tall black animal that resembled an ape. It was standing in a fast-flowing river. The man started to run towards the creature, being only a quarter of a mile away. The animal waded to the far bank of the river, climbed out, and turned and looked at the man before disappearing into the brush. 11-year-old Darrell Lang and a 12th grade student, Paul Schleyer, saw a big dark 7-foot-tall animal. It was walking on a country road around 10 miles east of Rochester, Alberta. This was in the middle of the day. Indistinct tracks were found at the scene. The publicity over the boy's sighting convinced a forestry tower man to reveal his encounter. He had entered seeing an unidentified 2-legged animal in his log and that there had been a Sasquatch sighting earlier that summer near Cold Lake. René DeHinden had found 16-inch tracks with a 48-inch stride near Birch Lake in the early 1960s. The unnamed man who reported these tracks was supposed to have cast at least one of them. This same man was alleged to have seen a Sasquatch north of Birch Lake. This report was not looked into. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Find more reports and our sightings map at thecryptocrew.com. If you have had a sighting or encounter, then please contact us via our website. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.